has to go out there and make sure that things are going okay. Maybe when the job's going down, stops out there.
I would like to actually use a project manager, a dedicated project manager.
Okay, thank you. That's again. We're gonna get along very, very well because that's where I'm going with all this. Is the sales guy sells.
I want my sales
and the project
guy focus on sales.
Right.
I don't want my sales guy focus on anything else.
Again.
I want him to be selling.
Again, the way that everybody else does.
They are looking for Superman.
Is wrong.
And that's why the Superman works for him.
Like if you sell 5 jobs a week, right?
Yeah.
If that's what you do as a sales rep, but you have to project manage 5 jobs a week.
Stupid.
Then you're going to do it halfway. You cannot be there during the build to get the photos of proper things and to make sure that the metals are replaced. Making sure.
No, it's just stupid. First of all,
you're not doing your sales well. You're missing appointments. You're missing adjuster appointments. You know what? I think you're going to love
your payment plan.
My plan. I think you're going to love. It's a little bit different, tiny bit different. But I think the parts that are different. You're gonna love. It's different, so you have to like. I know you love this brand.
No, but I know it would work. Like you
would have to be able to take yourself and detach it from the romantic part of it. But watch this. Watch this. Okay, so look. If you have a sales rep comes into you brand new, and here's how you pay him.
Oh.
You pay him 5%.
Yes.
Of the total contract, which means of the total amount agreed that your company's going to do. So, like, if the contract's total RCB, the total thing, right? Like the total, the amount of work you're doing.
Okay.
I'm sure that's the way you're doing it too. But total contract, right? 5% if he's brand new, that you pay to him if you gave him the lead. Okay. So if it was a lead that came through your system through Facebook or through the website or whatever, if you gave him that lead, it's 5%. That's if he's brand new. But immediately you give him a promotion to 5.5%. But first, 5% if you give him the lead of the total contract. But if he brought the lead, add 2.5%. Okay, so if there's a self-generated lead, always add 2.5%. So
1% maybe just a bonus.
Just watch how it works though. So it actually accomplishes the salary. You like the salary because you want to grow something that's
consistent,
real, right? And something that's part of a core family.
And I want to be able to
right?
pick up the best people.
This is how you can do that, right? And so when he's brand new, he starts with 5%. You give him the lead, he brings the lead, 7.5%. But immediately, like when he hits 20 grand in sales, which should happen, or 25, which should happen on his first contract, right? Or maybe even the second one, you bump him up to 5.5%. It's a promotion, right? And it doesn't change every month. It's based on total career, right? This is where the loyalty part comes in, where they don't want to walk away from. So you bump them up to 5.5% if you gave them the lead. If you got the lead, 8%, right?
How soon do you bump him up?
Immediately, as soon as here's the kicker. Let me back up a little bit. All payments to him are paid as you get the payments.
Correct,
right?
yes.
So like if he's at 5% and he brings in, a check for $5 grand, $250 immediately. Now you could set it up for accounting purposes to add some structure.
I see. So he still collects the final payment.
Right. But so you can still set it up to where some companies are really funny about, well, I like to have structure and I don't want to have people coming all the time for money. So they make it like everything turned in by Wednesday is paid Friday, that kind of thing. I don't like that. I like the idea of you bring a check, you get a check.
Correct. I like it.
Any day of the week. You meet up with me on Sunday night.
Right? I don't want to do it because if I have a team of 20 people,
right.
and it's going to be
you put somebody. You literally have another person become you, meaning they have to run around town and meet up with people. You know what I mean? Like you literally have at that point you literally have somebody fill your position to be like.
But why not doing it like weekly?
To be like the bag man, you know what I mean? Like roll like you got a check. Let's meet up. You know what I mean? Like,
Or
let's
deposit,
get-
and I'm gonna send you.
right. Like, let's get it done. Like, so, like, you don't want to be that guy eventually, but right now you are. You're that guy, right? But I'm saying eventually you want to have another person that you bring up from your team that's watched you over time to handle that, right?
Yeah.
To run around and go. Like, you make it a thing to where, I'm not kidding you, sales guys are so motivated by that. Like, you change their whole world in 1 second. Like, they get a check, they just signed a deal, and they got a check because the homeowner already had a big check, and they got a big check, and they brought a check, and they literally get a check, like, right now.
Yeah.
And they love that. So they want to leave from that, right? They don't want to leave that. One, but also, as soon as they hit 20 grand, you bump them up to 5.5%, right? And so, yes, all checks that come in through that job, the first check, when they sign, they get a check, right? And so it's easy to calculate their payments because wherever they're at, it doesn't matter. Wherever they're at on the scale, whatever they're at that day, if they bring a check in on that job, whatever that check is, that they get 5.5% or 5%, wherever they're at, of that amount, right? And so the beauty is if they ever quit and if they walk away from you, right, and they just decide to quit, then let me finish the scale. So 5.5%, and then when they get up to 100 grand, you bump them up to 6%. Again, always add 2.5% if they bring the lead. So you're at 6 and 8.5, right? Then you can change these around, but this is where I like. And then let's see, I think there was I think it's 50, and then I've got a scale, broken down. But you go 100, 250, 500, right? And you go all the way up to 7.5% if you gave them the
Up to
lead.
10% maximum.
And 10%. So 10% is the maximum
Yeah.
if they brought the lead, right? And so when they hit that point, when they graduate up to that point to where they're at 7.5% or even close to it, 7, 6.5, and 10, they're not going anywhere because they don't want to lose what they've built up with you. You see what I mean? If it was a monthly thing, then if they're having a bad month, they could just quit. It'd be too hard to get back to where they were, But if it's based on career, it's like literally they have built their own seniority.
So walk away.
Right, they've built their own seniority that they don't want to lose. They've earned it. They've paid for their own level. You see what I mean? And so now if they do quit though, so let's say like they signed, a bunch of deals or whatever. Just say they signed one contract, then they picked up the first check, right? And just think about that. The first check is probably it might be significant, right? But it's not.
Usually
It's not representative of the whole job. Like even a significant amount of the whole job. I mean, once we get it through the supplementing process and get the money way
it's not
up,
gonna be,
and then the back end. I mean, we're gonna that's probably not even half. So if they bail, and the sales rep, in my mind, right, the sales rep, and I think we'll work on this, and you'll adopt what you will out of what we learn, right? But the sales guy is in charge of essentially, or product advisor, right? In charge of probably the same stuff that you have. Like he's got to go out and meet with the adjuster. He has to obviously do the first inspection. He has to do the sales presentation. He has to fill out the contract paperwork, right? He has to get the check, right? He has to pick out a color of the shingles and basic stuff about the job. Has to take photos, right? Has to go out there and make sure that things are going okay. Maybe when the job's going down, stops out there, takes
I would like to actually use a project manager, a dedicated project manager.
Okay. Thank you. That's again. We're gonna get along very, very well because that's where I'm going with all this. Is the sales guy sells.
I want my
And the project
focus on
manager,
sales.
right.
I don't want my sales guy focus on anything else.
Again.
I want him to be selling.
Again, the way that everybody else does
They are
it
looking for Superman,
is wrong.
and that's why the Superman works for him.
Cannot, if you sell 5 jobs a week, right?
Yeah.
If that's what you do as a sales rep, but you have to project manage 5 jobs a week,
Stupid.
then you're going to do it halfway. You cannot be there during the build to get the photos of proper things and to make sure that the metals are replaced. Making sure.
No, it's just stupid. First of all,
and then you're not doing your sales well. And you're missing appointments. You're missing adjuster appointments and all that. You just can't do it.
Have you read this book?
No, it looks great though.
The Perfect Salesforce.
Looks
This
great.
guy is amazing. He tells that like you can teach anybody to do sales, but there are some natural talents. And when you even like different stages of sales require like donkeys requires one skill set. Closing and pick up the check requires a different skill set.
Sure.
So if you find somebody who can do this and this and this and this, then he doesn't need you.
Sure.
So how much difficult is find somebody like that Superman?
Right. Now, so you graduate these guys up to that point, and again, they're just this commission scale that I just went over. It's not 50-50 split because they're not managing the job, right?
Yeah.
They're just selling, and so
Correct.
if they only have to focus on selling and signing and all that, and I would go one further and to say that when I did this same plan, like I did many plans, over the course of 10 years as a contractor, right? The one that I had at the end that worked the best, that I finally settled on, was this. And my sales reps were actually licensed adjusters.
No way.
That knew how to do Xactimate.
So you sent them to
So
do
I
the
actually,
course.
I actually made them. No, I didn't send them to the course. I hired people that already had extreme experience.
You already hired them.
Yeah, I said you must have major experience.
Nice.
I want some construction background. I want to make sure you work for large carriers. Must be proficient in
Nice.
Xactimate. Blah 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 blah.
Nice.
I mean, I probably had over 100 of them working for me.
No
at different
way,
times.
man.
Yeah. I mean, over the course, at different times, and that
Nice.
worked for me. So I got to really learn about the insurance process by hiring adjusters, and they would tell me the stories about working inside State Farm and doing this and that. You know what I mean? So you learn from that. But just know that I required them to go and do the Xactimate, the photos, the inspection, and all of that on this pay scale. So to ask these guys here in the Texas environment that are not adjusters, that are quality guys, you want quality guys, right? I actually don't think that you have to hire adjusters. I mean,
As long as you train them properly.
yeah, they have to be just quality, quality.
people,
The thing
yeah.
I liked about adjusters is that, everybody else wants to go hire the best roofing sales rep, right? That's stupid. Like, if you have on your resume that you are a roofing sales rep, I don't want to hire you. Like, that's just me, right? Because you're brainwashed to the wrong way of doing things,
Correct.
right? You have the 50-50 split and all that stuff.
Correct.
So I liked hiring adjusters because they were kind of nerdy, kind of techie, right? The laptops and the gadgets and
they're trained to be like on time at work.
right. They're prompt, they're
Correct.
professional.
Yes,
they know how to work with emails and attachments and
Yeah.
PDFs.
And they can work 12, 15 hours a day.
That's it, man. And they don't have a problem with that. And also, adjusters have been used to deploying and going and working a storm with their own credit card. You see what I mean? Like they went and they had to pay for their own hotel. I mean, the way that an adjuster's life works, when you first become an adjuster, you're not going to get any good staff job with like a cushy job where they pay for everything and they do all that. Not until you've gone and deployed.
yourself, yeah.
You've had to go and deploy somewhere, right? So you literally, that's what they call it. They go and they go to school, and many of them have worked for me, so I know how they all operate. I remember this one guy. He was so awesome. Like he went and just so knowledgeable, had the construction background, good old country boy, And he went, former military. He went and got through the school and he learned about everything and he asked all the questions and researched. And his truck, he set it up. He built a desk in the back of the thing and had it's for his laptop and all the power and 2-story ladders and just anything you can possibly need.
His life.
Right, with the printer, everything. So he goes out, adjusts, specs it, adjusts it,
Nice.
writes it, prints it, all on site, ready to go. So he had all this ready to go and was just literally just waiting for a storm. He's like, Chad, I'm working for you, but only until it's time to deploy. You have me until whenever that is, So literally, all his life was spent waiting to go deploy. He was ready for it. Most guys are not ready. Like they think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go make a whole, hundreds of thousands of dollars in 90 days or whatever. So they go and they run out there and they deploy, And they have to pay for everything on their own. So they have to, and they know that. They know they've been waiting for it. They have to go and pay for their own hotels and literally wait like a month to 2 months before they even get paid. They go out there, they know that speed is the game. Run and do as many of them as you possibly can. They learn how to do the estimates and they write them, but then, and they think that they're making all this money, and then they find out that they're all getting kicked back down. So the estimates are being kicked back down because they added too much stuff on there. They did the estimates properly. The remove and the replace, the this and that, this and that. They're like, oh no, we don't pay for that. We don't pay for that. And so they shove it back down. And then they don't get paid because it's not closed out. So they have to revise it and make it shitty. You see what I mean? That's why a lot of these estimates are terrible. It's not because all the adjusters are bad. It's because they know that if they don't close it out, if they don't do it the way that they want to see it, it's not going to get closed out.
And if you start telling them, hey, at this, it's going to be like, yeah, right. And then
right, it's not going to get closed and it's not going to get paid, right? And they've learned that early on from the first experience deploying with their own credit card, with their financing it themselves, right? And so they've gone through that. And the ones that have kind of been through it, they realize, okay, there's a process for supplements. So if they miss something, somebody else is going to catch that. So the game is speed. Get in, get out, close it, make sure it's going to close. Don't worry if it's accurate or not. Submit it and keep going, right? And then they find out right away. Think about this. All the insurance in a hailstorm, a hurricane even, big hurricane comes, smashes the area. And then so all the properties in the area have insurance companies, and all those insurance companies have to get adjusters immediately. Usually they get them beforehand, a hurricane. They know it's coming and they get a bunch of them there already. They start getting people to the area. They hire up as many adjusters as possible. Independents, new guys, whoever and wherever, and they get as many adjusters as possible. They hire them. And all those adjusters, all those insurance companies, all those properties in that area, all now have an adjuster assigned to it. And every single one of them has to be there within so many days for the first inspection, right? And they all get there. After that, what happens? Like literally, out of all those properties, they've all been visited by an adjuster. They've all been given some form of a payment or denied, right? And an estimate. That adjuster gets paid. Then what happens? Like a certain portion of them, it's not enough money, so they have to go back and get re-inspects or review the estimate that's already been done. But it's a pretty small percentage. Most people just take the money and move on.
Correct.
Right? And so what happens to all the adjusters?
They're just sitting around.
They're done. They thought they were going to make all this money, but really their job's done in 2 weeks. They make all their money within the first 2 weeks. After that, there's no more left. It's just re-inspect work. You see?
But many people don't file right away. They file like hail. Let's take hail. Maybe not a hurricane. Hurricane probably everyone files like right away.
Of course.
But hail, it's gonna take.
Of course, and that work is there, right? But okay, so I'm not sure about the statistics, so I don't want to speak on the statistics. It's more of a feeling going through it so many times, right? You're a statistics guy, so you may track it down and find these numbers, but I wonder where you could find it, but like the phases of a storm. And I've worked for companies that had their own versions of it. Phase 1 is this many people. But
I can probably do it on my own.
Wouldn't you think that in a regular, especially a good sized hail, right, that most people, maybe 70%, by the time all the door knockers go in the area and all that, right? I mean, within the first month.
I would say 50%.
Yeah, within the first month, probably 50, maybe 50%. 60, but.
I would say 50%.
So 50 is a good number, right? So 50. So if we're looking at a pie, 50, a circle chart, half of it is chunked off right away. Just chunked off. Now the other half, maybe. That's what we have a big board right here, right? So right away, this is just gone right away, right? So then that's after the first month, 1 month.
It's a low hanging fruit.
Right? Yeah, the low hanging fruit, right? And then this one, I mean, I would say maybe this is within the first 90 days, like the next 60 days, maybe the next 90 days.
25%.
Yeah, the next. This is all just from my brain, you know. Who knows if this is right? That is then gone, and then this just kind of goes over the next year.
And 15% is like left for next year.
Right, over the next year. 1 to even 2 years, but mostly over the next year.
Yeah, and 10% is getting lost.
Right? So all the adjusters mostly are going for this stuff.
Right.
They're not, like,
Yeah, they're not interested.
the staff adjusters.
Local staying there.
Yeah, the local and the staff adjusters were kind of handle all that. So for me, there was a big opportunity with that. Like, there were these adjusters in the area that needed work, and they thought they were going to be there longer, and they've been paying their own way, and they realized it wasn't even worth the trip. They went through all this training and all this stuff, and then they got cut loose, and it wasn't even worth the trip. And they wanted to work, you know. And all of a sudden, they saw this ad from a contractor, the other side of the game, and it's kind of better because this guy is going to be going after all this stuff over time, and then that's secure work that's secure work for all that. It's more detailed, but you know, they make more money too. So for sure they make more money. So it's you might consider that. This is all part of the sales recruiting and things that I've been talking about. Is that, I mean, when I was a hurricane chaser, I was in different cities, right? So it wasn't a familiar place to me. I didn't know people. I had to just go in and parachute in and build it out, right? And so I would come in just like you are, by myself, and literally go out and put flyers together myself. I didn't hire anybody. Just go out and literally put the flyers. Don't really work anymore, but back then you could put them.
Don't work anymore.
Not as well. The attention
I know,
is
like the
down.
percentage is like 1% you get from like.
It's like 1/10 of 1%.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Where before it was much higher, but now it's like I went back to this a couple of years ago, and it was a total dud. Like, it doesn't work near as well, and you have more So we took the flyers. If you're gonna go and you're thinking the proper way, hand delivering them.
No, mailing.
Oh, mailing is bad. Like, you might have better luck there, but the cost is so high, right? So, but what we did was literally took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Okay.
A green, pastel green paper. We figured that color worked the best. Out of all the colors we tried, that one, for some reason,
green
was off the charts. Like, the pastel green was off the charts. And this guy knew, we took college to be a graphic designer, and he said that there's actually psychology and studies about the color.
Or something.
He said there's studies about the color, that people are annoyed by the canary yellow. Like, everybody thinks that the yellow is going to grab everybody's attention, but it's a subconscious level that your brain is actually annoyed by that color, so you're not likely to respond to that. And so for whatever reason, like, I paid attention to the numbers, right? There were thousands and thousands of them, and for whatever reason, the pastel green worked the best. But it was just a 8.5 by 11 flyer. We would literally fold it long ways in half, like almost sort of bend it, not crease it, where the words are on the outside. And we would drive around and slide it on the mailbox in between where the flag is, and slide it in between that flag and the mailbox, so that you have this little green thing just sticking up in the air off the side of every mailbox of every street. Yeah, and so people like call and say, "Stop putting this on our mail. What's your address? We'll take your name off the list," right? But for the most part, it was all just amazing response.
Really?
Like, people just calling, like, "Yeah, I got this green flyer, and I'd like to request an estimate." So I literally, like, one example was, I just literally got on a plane. I went there. They didn't really have the VoIP yet. Like now I just set up a number of anywhere right now. 30 seconds on the phone number from somewhere.
Correct.
And no problem. But then you can do that. So I took a plane there. I rented an SUV at the airport with GPS, because GPS wasn't as good, like, on the phones and stuff then, right? And so I went to a Sprint store, bought a phone with a local number.
Yeah.
I went to before I got there, I already had everything set up with the company, the corporation, had the UPS set up, the UPS mailbox and all that stuff. So I got the phone, and then I put the flyer together immediately. Like, literally the guy that owned the franchise Sprint told me where the storm areas were. I didn't want to go to the most exclusive areas where I couldn't get in the community, right? I wanted to get into a place somewhat like this neighborhood, but even a step down, right? Like where just I can go in and run and gun and, you know, flyer, and that's what I did, man. I just went flyer, literally had 40, 50 appointments scheduled all by myself, just booked up to where I couldn't even get through the rest of the flyers. I had 5,000 flyers that I did, and I couldn't even get through like 2,000 of them. Appointment. So all of a sudden, all my time is spent trying to get to the next appointment, right?
Wow.
And then you gotta get the estimates done and all that, just all by myself.
Wow.
No team,
Nice.
zero. So eventually I had to stop what I was doing. Like I'm getting clients signed and checks and money. No crew, no nothing.
Nice.
Right? I mean, I could be burned for this, right? I have no plan. I mean, I had a plan, but no, resources, nothing. And so I stayed at the Hilton airport and booked a conference room with a table and all that stuff. And they brought in coffee and all that stuff. And I put ads in Career Builder. And I said, we will be having, and I still have the copy. You can have the actual copy. We will be having interviews in the area at a local Hilton hotel, blah.
Nice.
On such and such days and times, And here's the position. We are currently seeking, No phone calls, please, right? Just submit your resume, like follow the instructions, right? Don't call, don't do anything, like don't just show up, you know. Like we don't even put the company name in the ad. It's anonymous, right? So they submit the resume and then you start getting tons of resumes. So I've done this on Monster, Career Builder, but the ones that they have now, I've never tried. So this has been several years, right? So I've never tried.
On Facebook, you can maybe target them.
Right. I mean, you can target on Facebook for sure. I mean, you can go in there and target everybody that's ever worked for MetLife, or everybody that's ever worked for State Farm, or people that are working for State Farm now.
Wow.
You see what I mean? Like, so you can definitely do it that way. Like, there's got to be newer ways to do things that I'm not aware of. Like, so when I helped that company as recently as last year, I tried Career Builder and it worked. It worked great. Like, I had interviews all day long, like hundreds of them. But yeah, I had a lot of good response from that. You get a ton of resumes that come in, and a lot of them are not qualified. You know, a lot of them are in some other state, and they want you to pay for their, relocating. No, don't do that ever. Never, ever enter into a deal with guys coming from other spaces.
Needing.
Oh man, I mean, even with this deal, the only thing that makes this work with adjusters that are here from somewhere else, they're already here, is the fact that they're used to waiting a while until money starts to come in, and they're able to do that. They're stable, right?
They can manage their finances.
Right. Roofing sales reps can't do that.
Yeah,
they're broke.
They don't know how to manage finance. Even if they make like 100 grand, they can.
It would be gone. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It'd be $500,000.
Yeah.
It'd be gone. It would all.
And I think I can start with like a course like person finance management for $5,000.
I mean that's actually fantastic, man. That will be the thing. That
target specifically sells by people.
Like or a YouTube channel. Get on there and start doing content.
Correct.
So that you're the expert. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. niche.
Niche. But honestly, that's the one thing that a lot of people don't have. Like they can attain all of the other parts of it, the sales and the insurance, the estimating, a lot of those things, but the finance, like it's amazing, the gurus that have all their stuff together, you would think, right? And they're big companies, but finance is just totally out of whack. They have no clue as far as how to manage the finance part of it. Yeah. So that will be one thing that will give you the more of a strategic advantage, going forward. But so anyway, these guys, the resumes come in, you qualify them, you can literally see which ones match. You look at their experience. Geico auto claims adjuster. No, I mean, you're looking for the ones who State Farm, had actual experience working for the carriers that you're encountering every day.
Yeah.
You're hiring the enemy. is what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting inside to the enemy. And so I would say, as you grow your team, you want to also have that you hire from that same lot the inside desk adjuster.
Oh my god.
So like the supplementer guy,
It's amazing.
the supplementer guy that has to call the insurance company and follow up. Yes, we submitted our estimate to you, 2 days ago, and I'm calling to follow up to check the status of the estimate. That guy calling is a previous licensed
He knows
inside
exactly what
desk
he's
adjuster.
looking at.
Right.
He knows the guidelines, he knows everything, he knows
Right.
what to say, what not to say.
Because the idea is that with anything, and I think this applies to anything in life, is you must be able to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, right?
Correct.
And so to try to look like me with you last night when we were getting all the business part of it done, I had to look at you, but look through your eyes, right? To look at your needs, like what is it that, and that's what I have to do all the way through this. To look at like how are you seeing things?
Perceive, yeah.
What is your viewpoint? Like if I had my camera and I had another angle that I was editing, and I got to see Oleg's eyes in view. You know what I mean? Like from your viewpoint.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's strategic to do that with customers when you're trying to sign them, more than anything with them, right? But also with the adjusters. If you could just understand everything we talked about just now, this is all relevant. I didn't intend to talk about these things first, but it's all relevant because the adjusters, the field adjuster, the first person that goes out is just a pawn. They really are. And having had these people work for me, I know this is true, right? I know the process.
The desk
right?
adjuster is the main guy.
There's a main person inside, right? Maybe, depends on which insurance company they're working for. If it's State Farm, they're just a robot. If they're an inside desk adjuster with State Farm, they're just a robot, right? So, but
It's
they're just a robot. They're just following the process.
There's a
State Farm doesn't pay for
code.
that. Right. State Farm doesn't pay for that, right? So, but the first person that goes out is a pawn. Eyes and ears, boots on the ground for the insurance company. It's literally, we have to get somebody out there. The law says we do. Like, we literally have to get somebody out there to get on the ground and be there to inspect and to pat the customer on the back and give them a little money. You know what I mean? We have to do it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. They move hell and high water out of the way to get an adjuster there that first time. Because they have to go through so much and hire these people from anywhere. A guy that just got his license and went through some bogus course online, And I know there's more to it than that, but really has never actually written a real Xactimate estimate before. With no experience going out and handling these claims. There's a lot of those, and you've probably seen them,
Right, yeah.
So their standards are not very great for the first person that goes out. But they can't get it done without somebody going out there, correct? I mean, the insurance company cannot do any kind of resolving of anything if they don't get somebody out there.
Yeah.
So somebody has to go. And as long as somebody can get out there, insurance companies look at it like I do for estimating, right? I just need a little bit of data, a little bit from you, the contractor. Just need a little. And I can do everything else, right? And so that's how the insurance company is. They're like, we just need a little bit. We can get the eagle view. We can get all the data from previous stuff. And
Pictures here and there.
yeah, we just need some pictures on the ground. We need somebody to fit. Our desk adjuster can talk to the homeowner. We've already been in contact with them.
Yeah.
We've talked to them several times. We're just waiting on you, So like the field adjuster that's there is not very important really in their eyes. Like it's just necessary. So, and some of those adjusters know that. And that makes them even worse. When they know that they're perceived like that, they're like, screw them because they don't care about me. You know?
And then they're also angry because they see you a contractor, like kind of making a lot of money and they're on a salary and they have to work like 12 hours, 15 hours. They're like angry, like you are not happy because you're like making money on this roof and I'm like not making any money on
and
this
you're making thousands of dollars on the roof.
Yeah, and like screw you.
And in their mind, that you're making a whole lot more than what you're even making. You know what I mean? They don't
screw you, I'm
understand.
not gonna even talk to you.
If you realize that they're just necessary, right? for example, when you do an estimate, if you okay, you just signed a customer in your neighborhood here, and they gave you their insurance paperwork, but you can see right away there's problems with this insurance paperwork. Like it's not very much money, and on top of that, they depreciated it like crazy. They have a big deductible. So there's like $2,000 on this check, and it's missing like tons of stuff. It's missing all kinds of stuff, right? So you know that you gotta get an estimate together or do something, but you need to get with the insurance company to get them to get their numbers up, right? I mean, I don't know how you've been doing things, but you got to get with them to get the numbers up. You know that. Everybody knows.
Like last year, I wasn't supplementing at all.
At all, no matter what. So you never, ever, ever contacted the insurance company.
Move now.
Okay, well, I'm curious to know how many.
I did that. I did supplementing 2-3 years ago. 2 and 3 years ago. So I started using Xactimate when it was like 2014 maybe.
Bro, my stomach's kind of dropping out right now. Like seriously, like I'm
serious. So I
not
think
at all?
if I was supplementing, I would do 2 million at least. I think because I did like, and if I was supplementing, I would do 2 million, like I think minimum. Because I was supplementing anything, nothing, 0. I wasn't even asking
I'm
for.
so glad you met me, man. Just because it's like
It's a life changing. I told you.
I made that. I started making that video and putting it out there for free because I know there are too many people that are doing that. So like, if you look at the last couple episodes that I made, it actually starts out with, "Are you just taking the insurance company's word for it? Are you just working off whatever's there? Are you running your business that way?" Like that's my opening line on every episode. That's why I made it. Because I knew that too many people were doing it that way, and most were doing it just simply because they didn't know. And then I realized that the insurance company they're all getting over.
I was supplementing before, but then I got tired of waiting for so long, and
so you made a model that could just
I had to be selling, and I had to be talking to the insurance company, and I got just I don't know, tired of doing everything. I don't want to be doing everything. I wanna focus. I hate multitasking, you know. I hate multitasking. So I eliminate tasks that I don't want to do. And even if I know how to do it, I learned Xactimate. I worked in Xactimate 2013.
Yeah.
In 2013, I already was working in Xactimate when it just came out in online version. Version, because it doesn't work on Macs.
Yeah, online is not that great. I don't use online version.
It doesn't work on Macs. Okay, first of all. So second thing is it doesn't work on Google Chrome. It works only on Internet Explorer. Well, I'm not sure how now it works, but it worked a little bit on Safari. So I was using it on Safari when it was like struggling when it just came out.
Yeah, that's awful. So I think you're gonna make so much money more. I mean, the things you're gonna learn. But anyway, when you did the supplements before, just you can picture some of that, like you're doing the estimate. So if you had a problem with an estimate, most people, their first mistake that they make is they submit that estimate to the original adjuster that came out and looked at the claim. Follow me?
Yes.
So if you look at that paperwork and it's got that adjuster's contact info on it. Yeah, I mean, because think about everything I just told you about an adjuster's life.
Yeah.
The field adjuster's life.
Send it to the company.
Yeah.
Fax it to the company.
They're like, man, I submitted to the adjuster. I've been waiting. Won't call me back, and a month has gone by. Doesn't care.
Yeah. He doesn't care. He's like, you wanna make my life.
He probably got that from just for that storm. He's already, that thing is done. Why would he even open the book on that anymore? You know what I mean? Like, I got my money that's been closed. That was a nightmare. I want to change the chapter. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, there are definitely exceptions to the rules. I mean, if you've got like senior, seasoned, experienced cat adjusters, that's going to be a little bit different. They're going to be with it for a little while longer. Or it could be, hey, if it's Safeco, chances are you have to deal with that same adjuster all the way through. Nationwide, so there are some companies that own their claim.
Liberty Mutual.
Not Liberty Mutual. And they're the same company, right? They're combined together. However, their processes are still very much different. So
it's a different company.
Right, one adjuster on the front, and then you have to deal with the inside desk adjuster for Liberty Mutual. CCU at libertymutual.com. That's how you turn the phone off, but that's the address. CC, the email address to the inside. And Safeco, you have to deal with the original adjuster. Not that the original adjuster might have been transferred, or might have been, but it doesn't matter. You got to deal with the original. USAA, they're gone. You deal with the inside. Right? State Farm, gone. Deal with the inside. Allstate, gone. Deal with the inside. But once you deal with the inside, you deal with one person. Only one person's assigned to it on the inside.
Allstate?
Yeah, Allstate. So but you still send it through the Allstate main system. But State Farm, on the inside.
Whoever answers.
Yeah, on the inside, whoever answers is an inside desk adjuster. You get right through to the team 53, I believe it was here. Yeah, team 53. Or is it 66? No, 53. Team 53. So if you call State Farm's main number, they ask you for the claim number and all that. You just say, give them the claim number, and then you say, give me team 53, right? Team 53. And they say, what can I help you with? I said, team 53.
I mean, it's still good to give them a folder, but I had this Owens Corning folders. Like everyone has those 3 Owens Corning folders.
Okay.
And I ordered my folders. They are supposed to arrive in a few days.
Good. Presentation folders?
Yeah. Big,
no, it's trust me. I mean, how old are you again? You're 34. So, like what I'm learning now is that time is the asset, man. I'm telling you, time is the asset.
I have to create something that.
I'm learning now more than ever.
Yeah.
That the time is the most valuable thing.